Okay, so in this video, you're going to learn about the adverbs of frequency, how to use have and has, and you're going to answer dialogues using simple present tense. Okay, now let's start. Okay, now let's practice this dialogue. We're going to have a dialogue practice. I will ask you the questions. I'll be A, and then you will be B. Okay, let's start with the first one. How often do you use your computer? Okay, you say, I use my computer every day. I use my computer. I use my computer every day. Okay, let's practice number 2. How often do you write to your son? Can you answer? I. Okay, good. Let's go to number 3. How often do you clean your windows? Answer, I. Okay, good. Let's go to number 4. How often do you visit your aunt in Minnesota? Answer, I. Okay, good. Number 5. How often do you wash your car? I wash. Okay, good. Let's go to number 6. How often do your grandchildren call you? My grandchildren. Okay, good. All right, so how about you? Okay, here are some questions, so answer the questions that are true for you. How often do you watch YouTube? How often do you write or do homework? How often do you clean your room? How often do you visit your grandparents? Okay. How often do you wash your car? Okay, good. How often do your cousins call you? Okay, good. Okay, so now let's learn about the adverbs of frequency. So this is very useful when you're talking about how often or you do something. Okay, so let's have this one as an example. Always, usually, sometimes, rarely, and never. And let's talk about food, because that is a very popular topic. Okay, food. Okay, for example, how often do you eat this? Or how often do you have blank for breakfast? Okay, so let's go with breakfast or, yeah, anything that you eat during the day. Yeah, for example, always. Let's start with always. So this is 100%. Like you always have this. Okay, for example, I always have rice for dinner. Always. I always have rice for dinner. 100%. Always, every day. Okay. Next is the word usually, the adverb, I mean, usually. So for me, something that's true for me, I usually eat bread for breakfast. Okay. Usually. 90% of the time, I usually eat bread for breakfast. Sometimes I have rice. Sometimes I just eat an apple. Okay, so usually. Let's go to sometimes. Yeah, okay, sometimes. I sometimes eat an apple for breakfast. Or I sometimes eat a banana for breakfast. Okay, so this is 50% of the time. So 50% of the time I eat apple for breakfast, and maybe 50% of the time I eat cereal or bread or whatever. Okay, next we go to rarely. Rarely is 10%, so very, very rare. Seldom, yeah, seldom. So I rarely eat pasta. Okay, I rarely eat pasta. So this is 10% of the time. So it could be maybe once a week or once a month. Rarely. Only 10% of the time. Next word is never. So this is like 0%, never. For example, I never eat pork. I never eat pork. Okay, maybe because okay, maybe you're allergic to it or something. So you never, it's 0%. I never eat pork. I never eat beef or something. For fruits, I never eat durian. Okay. Okay, so those are the adverbs of frequency. Now let's have another dialogue practice. So I will be A and you will be B. Okay. Does Carmen usually study in her room? You say, no. She rarely studies in her room. See, she usually, 90% of the time, studies in the library. Okay, see in the picture, library. All right, let's go to Linda. Okay, so I will ask the question and then you try to answer using that dialogue as a guide. Okay. Does Linda usually eat lunch in her office? No, she. Okay, let's go to number 2. Does Alan always watch the news after dinner? No. Okay, good. Let's go to number 3. Oops. Does Diane sometimes read the National Star? Okay, good. Let's go to number 4. Does Henry usually wash his car on Sunday? Okay, very good. Okay, now how about you? What about you? Okay, so answer these questions that are true for you. Do you usually eat your lunch at school? Do you always watch TV after dinner? Do you sometimes read books? Do you usually wash your car? Okay, good job. Okay, next we're going to learn about have and has. Okay, so if the pronoun is I, we, you, and they, we use have. If the pronoun is he, she, and it, we use has. Okay, let me erase that. So read along with me. I have brown eyes. We have brown eyes. You have brown eyes. They have brown eyes. Okay, so take note of these pronouns. If these are the pronouns, you use have. Okay, next, he, she, and it. For these pronouns, you're going to use has. Okay, let's read with me. He has brown eyes. She has brown eyes. It has brown eyes. Okay, good job. Now we'll have this dialogue. I will be A and then you will be B. All right, let's start. Do you have? You have. You, this pronoun. Do you have quiet neighbors? No. We have noisy neighbors. All right, okay, so let's use the, so let's continue. Do you have a sister? Next, does this store have an elevator? Okay, number 3. Does your daughter have straight hair? Okay, next. Does your son have brown hair? Do you and your husband have a dog? Okay. Does your baby boy have blue eyes? Okay. So let's go. So let's go to you, over to you. What about you? Okay. Do you have a sister? Okay. Does your apartment building have an escalator? Does your cousin have curly hair? Okay. Does your sister have black hair? Okay. Do you and your family have a dog? Okay, very good. Okay, now let's go to speaking and reading. So you're going to shadow me when I'm speaking and practice your pronunciation as well. So I'm going to read this and then you're going to read along with me. Okay, so let's start. My brother and I look very different. And I. So if you talk too fast, sometimes you don't pronounce the A and D, and I. My brother and I look very different. Okay, can you say it? Good. I have brown eyes and he has blue eyes. Can you say it? We both have brown hair, but I have short, curly hair and he has long, straight hair. Okay, so if there's a comma, you pause. Pause, pause, stop. Okay, again, pause, 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 stop. Period means stop. Okay, so let's read this again. We both have brown hair, but I have short, curly hair, and he has long, straight hair. Okay, next. I'm tall and thin, and is usually when you speak fast, sometimes, again, you don't pronounce the A and the D. I'm tall and thin, tall and thin. I'm tall and thin. He's short and heavy. See, you don't pronounce the A and D. Short and heavy, short and heavy. Okay, try to practice that on your own. I'm tall and thin. He's short and heavy. I'm tall and thin. He's short and heavy. Okay, as you can see, I don't look like my brother. We look very different. As you can see, pause. As you can see, I don't look like my brother. We look very different. Okay, good job. So I think that ends our lesson. Okay, so you can have homework if you'd like. You can answer this and just send me a message and I'll correct it.